got no audio. I'm on. I'm 100% on. Oh, what's up, everyone? Sorry, we're kind of having, if you saw that live, we're kind of having some audio issues. So me and my producer were like, what's going on there? But I think it's all good. I hope it's all good. You guys can hear me all right? Awesome. Very cool. Well, welcome to another episode of Variant Live. This week we have some fun things to talk about. Lots of cool news that happened over the week, both comic and TV show related. I think movie stuff. I don't know. Lots of cool news that has happened. But before we get into that, I know a lot of you right off the bat are going to be like, what are you wearing on your head, Arris? What are you wearing on your head? Well, it's a variant hat, but it's one of one. I personally had it made for myself over last weekend. I love it very much. But with that said, if you guys do like it, we've actually been in talks about making variant hats for all of you guys to buy on our website, as well as t-shirts with this logo on it. So if you like it, you might possibly get one in the future. We're talking about, there's no like date for when, or if we are going to do hats. I would imagine mid-year, late this year. I don't know. I'm talking out of my butt right now. But it is something we're talking about. We're talking about doing hats, talking about doing t-shirts. So you guys could, the Variant Nation could wear the V, this logo, this nice little logo that we love so much, and hopefully you guys like on your head, on your chest, or whatever. But with that said, let's get into the topics at hand. Today, first thing I want to say is, as you guys know, My Hero Academia, we finished watching the whole first season a few weeks ago, and then I talked about it on the show, about how I binge watched the second season, and how I absolutely love it. It's it is one of my favorite animes now, given I don't watch, like, hundreds of animes. I probably watch, just a good handful of them, but it's quickly made its way up there. I mean, it's anime, it's superheroes, characters are good, it's funny. It was great. I really had a fun time watching it with you guys, discussing the 2 episodes that we would watch every week, the following week with you. So because I had so much fun doing it, and it seems like you guys had a lot of fun watching it along with me as well, let's do it again. Why not? Let's pick another anime, and we'll do it again. So on the Variant website, we actually posted a poll there for 2 new anime shows to watch along next, and they are Attack on Titan and Bravest Warriors. So you guys can head over to variantcomics.com. You'll see on the front page a poll there where you could vote on what's the next anime we should watch week to week, either Attack on Titan or Bravest Warriors. Sorry, I haven't watched both, either of them, but I've heard good things. I've heard very good things. Attack on Titan obviously is a very popular one, up there with Dragon Ball Super, My Hero Academia, all that stuff. And Bravest Warriors is actually a pretty popular one as well. I know less about that one. I know a little bit about Attack on Titan. I know the premise of that. It got a live action movie and stuff. But again, it's up to you guys. You guys are going to decide what we watch, what I watch, what we watch together, synergy, every week for the first season. So go to variantcomics.com and you'll see a poll there where you can vote on whether we're going to watch Attack on Titan or Bravest Warriors, and the poll's going to run a week. So basically, next Monday on Variant Live, I'll be like, hey, this is what you guys chose. 70% of you, 60% of you chose this. And we'll announce what the next one's going to be, and then from there, we'll watch the first 2 episodes of either Bravest Warriors or Attack on Titan, and then you guys know the deal. It'll be fun. Anime's awesome. Why the heck not? Moving on, though, still in the anime world, because this is big news. It was just announced, I believe, over the weekend or maybe late last week, last several days. You guys know what I'm talking about. Dragon Ball Super is coming to an end. Dragon Ball Super is coming to an end in, I believe, March with episode 131. So that's kind of sad. Now, with that said, it's not like Dragon Ball Z is going to be, or Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball franchise, what I call it, just because, you got the Zs, you got the GTs, you got the Supers, Kai, all that stuff. Dragon Ball Super is coming to an end. That doesn't necessarily mean we're never going to get a Dragon Ball series again. But they also said that in December, we're going to be getting another Dragon Ball movie. So that's really cool. So I don't know if the reason they're ending it is so, all those animators and people who work on Dragon Ball Super could shift to work on the movie, or if this was just, now, the creator just like, no, 131 episodes, that's it. I want to do something else after the fact. So there it is. Dragon Ball Super is, everyone's loved it. We've gotten some great stories from it. It's been really fun. I've loved it. I know you guys have. I've done several episodes, on like Goku Blue and all that stuff, all the stuff that Dragon Ball Super has given us. But 131, that's it. That's finito. Now, with that said, I'm sure in 2019 we're gonna be getting another Dragon Ball series. There's no way. This like anime is arguably like the most popular anime, especially I would say in America. Now, I'm not being definitive there, but it's definitely easily one of the most popular animes out there, or ever for that matter. Everyone knows who Goku is, so it's not going to be gone forever. But again, so Dragon Ball Super, to once March hits, that's it. Nothing till December. Then December we're gonna get a movie, and then hopefully, you know, in this gap or sometime in the year, they're gonna announce, you know, a brand new series for Dragon Ball in 2019. But I mean, I know a lot of people are like, no, that's it, it's over, that's it. We're never gonna see Vegeta, we're never gonna see Goku or anything new again. I highly doubt that. I mean, again, it's so popular, it's making them so much money. I know me, I personally collect some of the action figures. They've just released like new Dragon Ball figures this past week that are just hitting GameStops and stuff like that. They're making tons of money. We love it. They know that. So I don't think it's like the end. But I'm just saying that because I know there's lots of rumors out there where people are like, that's it. It's over. We're never going to see Goku again in like new episodes. I don't think that's the case. But yeah. So, if you've been loving Super, been watching it, in March, I believe episode again, 131, that's it for it. And then till Christmas, you could wait for the brand new movie they're gonna do. We got Battle of the Gods a few years ago. We got Resurrection of F, and now we're gonna get a new one. So that's something to look forward to. Moving on, though, we got lots of cool stuff to talk about. Black Lightning. Black Lightning premiered last Tuesday when Season 4 of The Flash came back, which was a great episode, by the way. Before I get into Black Lightning, I do want to ramble a little bit on The Flash real quick. I love The Flash. Fantastic show. You guys know it's probably my favorite superhero TV show out right now. But the one thing with the season is that's kind of getting me, and even I guess the ending of last season, is like, spoilers. Again, there's going to be spoiler territory. I got to say it. Spoilers for the ending of last season. Spoilers for this season. You've been warned. Don't say I didn't warn you. Flash CW. Spoilers in 1, 2, 3, go. So the one thing that got me last season is like, the Flash, like Barry was dead, right? He shot in Speed Force. Oh my God, he's dead. Arris is like, oh my God, he's dead. That's crazy. We're never gonna get him back. They're all sad. Cisco, they're all, you know, very distraught, kind of. Although, with that said, Arris didn't look that sad. That was actually one of the things me and my wife talked about, where it's like, oh, you're dead. You're the Speed Force forever. That sucks. I'm gonna get over it. So I kind of take that back a bit. Anyway, the show I feel like is doing a lot of things where it's like, I don't care as much because it's like, obviously I know he's not dead. The show is called The Flash. Like, clearly Barry is not dead. And the same thing is happening with this season where like he's in jail now. He's locked up, kind of, you know, reminiscing what his dad Henry Allen went through, which I think that aspect is cool. That aspect is really cool. It's kind of like he's going through what his dad went through. He was framed for murder. So I like that a lot. But on the other end of that, I'm like, clearly he's gonna get out. Like it's hard for me to be like, oh man, that sucks, because it's like, you know, there's no way he's gonna stay in jail the whole season. Like, but very minimum, by the last episode of the season, he's gonna get out. Like, again, you can't not have Barry Allen as the Flash. He's like the star of the show. With that said, that's just my little nitpicking. That's my little gripes about it, because it's just hard for me to like get invested in certain areas, because I'm like, he's gonna get out, obviously. Can't keep him dead. Can't keep him locked up. It's the Flash. But I do like how it's mirroring like how his dad was in jail. Now he's in jail, and apparently Bill Goldberg is going to be playing a character in the Flash. He's going to become he was apparently a friend of his dad's when he was in jail, and now he's going to become a friend of Barry now that Barry's in jail. So that's kind of cool. But I didn't even mean to talk about Flash. It kind of came out because I love the show, and I just wanted to vent about that, the little part that I nitpick about. Black Lightning. So it premiered this Tuesday, and I gotta tell you guys, I think I've told you before on the show, I was not really excited for the show. Obviously, I was gonna watch it. I give every superhero show a chance because, hello, me, love comic books, love superheroes, I'll give it a shot. But I was not excited. I was like, this looks cheesy. His suit looks horrible. I'll get into that in a second. I was like, this just looks, I don't know. And it's kind of like that with with several of the CW shows, I guess. Like, I kind of fell off on Arrow because I'm like, I know a lot of people did too. I don't watch Supergirl because I'm like, ugh. And I've been hearing things about the Legion of Superheroes is Brainiac 2. I guess Brainiac 5 is in it now. I don't watch Supergirl because I don't like it that much. But I've been hearing things where it's like not the best, and the Legion of Superheroes don't look that good. So, But anyway, I was kind of not too excited with Black Lightning because of all that stuff. Because I love The Flash. I like Legends of Tomorrow. Legends of Tomorrow is okay. Again, I don't love that either, but I like it. Again, the CW shows are really hit or miss for me. I do watch all the crossovers, though. I really enjoy those. Anyway, it surprised me. Black Lightning surprised me. I actually enjoyed it a lot, and I don't know if it's because I wasn't expecting anything from it. I had no expectations or what, but I was like, oh my god, I'm actually like, just as a story, I thought it was really cool. Like, I actually thought the moments when he wasn't in his costume was way better than he was in his costume. I just like, you know, his relationship with his ex-wife, his two daughters. It was a little bit topical as far as things going on in the world now without being preachy, which is really cool. And that's a hard thing to do, to kind of be topical without being like trying to shove an ideology, or I messed up that word, like trying to shove, like, you know, someone's opinion down your throat or something like that. So I thought that was really cool, and I like how, you know, no matter what anyone did to him, the Black Lightning character, he's like, no, I'm gonna stand, this is what's right, I'm gonna do it this way. Just because they're doing that doesn't mean it's right. I'm a hero at heart, blah, blah, blah. Now, he did lose his temper. He did lose his temper once, but, I mean, you know, it's for the better. It made his arc, because he had to be Black Lightning again. But again, yeah, I really enjoyed the show. I'm excited to see where it goes from here. I'm actually gonna watch tomorrow's episode, because again, I liked it a lot. I was thoroughly surprised. I really like the story of it, the premise, the character interaction. But again, when he was in his costume, that was my least favorite part, because I don't know about you guys. It was in the trailer though. There's this part where he jumps off like a hotel, the roof, and is like going to the ground to like fight the bad guys. But it was like so like obvious that he was on wires. It was so, I like rewinded it like 3 times. It was just so cheesy. Like the way he was like, I don't know, like it just wasn't natural at all. And I know it's TV, it's not a movie, it's not gonna be the same budget. You have to kind of forgive certain things, but I mean, it's bad, guys. It was bad. I thought it was bad. Speaking of bad, his costume still, again, I do like the show overall. I love the guy who's playing Black Lightning. I love the characters. I love his daughter. The interaction, great. But his costume, man, what is up with the CW costume? It's just so bad. It literally looks, it's like blue spandex with like grid wire work printed on it. And then it looks like BMX or motocross gear on top with like LEDs to make blue and yellow lightning streaks down his chest. Like it's just like, I don't understand why like a lot, like they're doing the same thing kind of like with Adam. Like, why do you gotta make these characters look like a low-grade Iron Man? That's like the best way to say it. Like it's like they're trying to be Iron Man when like these characters don't wear armor in like the comics. Like Black Lightning doesn't have like this weird armor plating thing like he's Deathstroke or like he's Iron Man. Like that's not a thing. Same thing with the Atom too. Like the Atom just has this cool suit, but they had to give him like these wire things with like plating, and I don't know why. Like actually in Black Lightning, when they had a flashback of him in his early days, like his first costume, and they show it briefly on the table when the guy's giving him his new costume, that first costume I thought was infinitely better than the one he ended up with by the end of the show. Like, not only was it infinitely better, it was way more accurate to the comics. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, that looks like Black Lightning from the comics, from the JLA and all that stuff. I'm like, why didn't they go with that? It was already made. They used it for 2 shots, but instead they're like, no, guys, we're gonna give him armor, and he's gonna be a lightning version of Iron Man, but it's not gonna look nearly as cool as Iron Man because the MCU movies have like a $200 million budget. And I don't know. That again, I like the show. As you guys know, I've ranted on Twitter, I've ranted on the show before. I can't get over most of the costumes for the CW. I know some of you don't agree. I know a lot of you do agree. That's my personal preference. Black Lightning, love the series. Gonna continue watching it. Really like the first show. I hope the whole series is like that. But my main nitpick is his costume, I think, looks ridiculous. And I don't think that's going to change unless they change his costume. I'm not a fan. I'm going to be blunt as possible. I do not like his costume. Character's cool. Story is cool. His costume, not so much. But I do like the series. But I'm going to move on because we got some more stuff to talk about. Let's move on to Action Comics 1000. I actually talked about it last week a little bit because the big news was with it was Brian Michael Bendis is now going to be writing Action Comics as of issue 1000, which is a huge thing. I mean, how many comics do you know they hit 1,000 issues? That's insane. I'm talking on my butt a little bit, but I think Action Comics is the longest running American comic book series. I think. I'm not saying that's factual. I'd have to check that somewhere. But I mean, I can't think off the top of my head another American comic book series that's hit 1,000 issues. There might be. I don't know. but I think, anyway, whether there is or isn't, that's a feat, man. 1,000 issues, that's insane. But what was announced this weekend is that with issue 1,000, Superman will be getting his red trunks back, his red underwear. So I'm of two mindsets of this. One, I like it. One, I'm like, why? Now, the half of me is like, I like it because that's classic Superman. You know, that Superman from, here, let's see. Guys, right here. Classic Superman, boom, right here from animated series, got his underwear. That's what I grew up on, all that fun stuff. But the other half of me is like, I kind of like that for like the last 7 years, you know, he has no underwear. Because even when he did have the underwear, I know a lot of Superman fans, Batman fans, any superhero that underwear was like, yeah, I like comics, I love this character, but it's kind of stupid that they're wearing, like, that was a joke. It's like, it's a big joke. It's like, why are you wearing your underwear on the outside of your pants? Like, it's something they make fun of, like, all the time. So, I don't know. Again, the nostalgia part of me is like, that's awesome, that's cool, especially, I get it, still 1,000 issue. You want to go back to the roots, to the classic, but I kind of like the more modern, like, you know, no underwear, because it just, I mean, it makes more sense to me, like, you know, especially in this modern era, it's like, why would you? Like, I get it back then, it's like, it kind of represented like the strong man of like the days in the circus and all that stuff, you know, they wore like the leotards and the tights like that outside of their pants or whatnot, but I kind of like, I mean, the no underwear outside the pants, I mean, because it's literally the same exact costume, like the Rebirth Superman is pretty much this classic Superman costume, all they did was take out the underwear, that's it. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I like it. So, I mean, but again, the other half of me, I'm like fighting with myself. The other end of me is like, yeah, but no, but Arris, that's classic Superman. That's OG. That's like Christopher Reeve Superman. That's Bruce Timm DC Animated Universe Superman. That's, you know, Superman for essentially like 98% of his existence up until 2011 when the New 52 was like, yeah, underwear, gotta go. Then Man of Steel followed suit, then BVS, then Justice League. But again, I kind of like it without the underwear. So I'm like whatever, I guess. I mean, I don't really care because I like both, but I'm arguing with myself. I think I do like it without, though. I don't know. I like them both. Whatever. I'm just here to report the news for you guys. That's what's happening. After has Action Comics 1000, he's going to have no underwear. Now, is it permanent? I don't know. Everything that Dan DiDio and Jim Lee have said, which are the publishers of DC, alludes to it is going to be permanent. Again, there's no definitive, but the way the quotes have been read and from what I've heard, it seems like this is the new thing. And I don't know if that's going to roll over into other heroes though, like Batman. I don't know if they're going to put the the underwear back on his pants and stuff like that. So I don't know how far this is going to go. Time will tell. I know we're in this new the DC universe because we just got out of Rebirth. Now we're in this DC universe branding. So I don't know if that's going to be part of the DC universe branding to make it like literally go back to OG. We're like, we're going back to so classic. Everyone's getting their underwear back. So I don't know. I like it, but I don't. Meaning, I guess I'm kind of neutral with it. It's classic Superman. Grew up with classic Superman, but I kind of like the more modern, sleek, no underwear on the outside of the pants. I don't know. I'm in the middle with that. Cool either way. Moving along, some more comic book news before I do some Q&A with you guys for a little bit is Wolverine. Wolverine is coming back. Who would have thought Wolverine's coming back? That's crazy. I mean, we know as of Marvel Legacy 1, that oversized issue that came out a few months ago, that Wolverine is alive, of course, because you can't, it's like I say all the time, because it's funny to me when, like, you know, Peter Parker is dead, or if they were to kill Bruce Wayne again, or they kill Superman, or whatever. It was like, oh my God, Arris, did you see? They killed so-and-so. That's crazy. What do you think? And my answer is always the same. That's cool, but he or she's going to come back. Like, you know, these characters are so embedded and make these, at the end of the day, they make the company so much money, you cannot kill them permanently. Like, there's no way. Like, that would be the dumbest business decision to kill a character like, you know, Logan or Superman permanently. You just can't. You just can't. You can have your year or 2 or 3, but you're eventually going to have to go back to the OG. I mean, us fans are just going to demand it, and the sales are going to, you know, show. They're like, oh no, they want Steve Trevor back as Captain America. We're going to have to give them Steve Trevor Captain America again. And guess what? We have Steve Trevor Captain America again. Anyway, going off tangent a little bit. He's coming back in, I believe, let me look real quick. I don't want to give you guys wrong information. I have it pulled up. I think it's April. I believe it's April. I'm in front of my computer. That's what's good about this. I could research and give you guys the facts. April, yes. Okay, so in April, there's a story going to be called, what is it going to be called? The Hunt for Wolverine, and Charles Soule, the guy who killed Wolverine, is going to be writing The Hunt for Wolverine, which is Wolverine coming back. So I think that's really cool that the guy who killed Wolverine is now the guy who's bringing him back. That's like full circle stuff right there. So that's awesome. Plus, I'm a big fan of Charles Soule. You guys may know I've interviewed him, I think, twice before on the show. Some old variant episodes. You can check that out. I don't remember which ones. I think he was doing something for Marvel. I think it's Star Wars. He's doing a Star Wars title for Marvel. Anyway, I'm a fan of his writing. Good stuff. So I'm happy to see that he's going to be able to bring back the character that he killed. That's pretty awesome. So in April, that will be coming out, and then all the longtime Logan Wolverine fans will be happy once again. I mean, we know he's back as of Marvel Legacy, but now we'll get to see him back in action, full force, because shing shing, Wolverine. But now I'm going to open it up to some Q&A before I wrap this week's episode up of Variant Live. So I'm going to go to the little comment section right here, so you guys can ask some questions. I will pick a handful of them, and then I'll see you on Wednesday for the next episode after that. Let's see what's going on. Andrew Heston says, talk about Dragon Ball. I did earlier. I talked about Dragon Ball Super, how it got canceled. So if you want to rewind back, I think that's the first or second thing I talked about. So you can go see that. Guy47 says, who's your favorite superhero? Oh, come on. That's easy. This guy right here, Batman. Batman is easily not only is he my favorite superhero, he's my favorite? He's my favorite. He's my favorite fictional character. Easily. 285 Wilson says, I can't wait for MCU Wolverine. I know, right? I'm so curious to see who they're going to cast. My pick was actually Tom Hardy, but he's playing Venom now, which isn't in the MCU, but I don't think he's going to go from Bane to Eddie Brock Venom to Wolverine. Like, I don't think that's the thing. That was my pick because he's short, he's stocky, he's tough, he's a good actor. I would love to see him as Wolverine, but maybe we need a no-name. Maybe we need a no-name to play Wolverine. It's only a matter of time before we see the Fantastic Four and the X-Men in the MCU, and I could not be more happy about that. Let's see. Robbie Wan says, favorite Flash. My favorite Flash is probably Barry West. Barry West? I mixed them together. Look at that. I took Wally West and I took Barry Allen and I made them one. No, Barry Allen is my favorite Flash. I mean, he created the Speed Force. He was, you know, he wasn't the first Flash, but I mean, he was the first, like, you know, he's what kind of made the Flash the Flash. Flash we know today is because of Barry Allen. You know, Jay Garrick obviously was first. But Barry Allen, again, he created the Speed Force. I mean, Reverse Flash is arch nemesis, which killed his mother. There's just so much history with Barry Allen and all that. I mean, again, he created the Speed Force. I'm just a fan of Barry Allen. Even though, like, technically when I was younger, Wally West was like the big deal. But he's my second favorite Flash. Because when I was younger, like, I didn't necessarily always read current comics. Like, I would go back. Like, I was a kid who, when my parents liked to go to Barnes & Nobles a lot. My dad liked to do a lot of reading and research and stuff for work. So he would literally, you know, go to, like, the little cafe area, and then I would go to the comic section. And that's actually how I started reading a lot of comics. Like, you know, I would just go to, like, these omnibus and old Golden Age, Silver Age, you know, collections and read comics that way. So I actually started reading Barry Allen first because I would read the old stuff from, like, you know, like the 60s and 70s and stuff like that. So again, Barry Allen, but I do love me some Wally West, and technically, you know, he's the fastest. He's technically the fastest. We talked about that before in the show. I know it's controversial, but everything would allude that Wally West is the faster Flash. He has way more feats of speed and all that stuff. So he's my second favorite, and he's also the Flash from Justice League. So not Justice League in general, Justice League the animated series. I love that show. So that I kind of grew up with him that too. So it's kind of like Barry, Wally, like right there. I love them both, but at the end of the day, Barry Allen. So let's see, I'm going to answer a few more questions. Lee says, who is the best Robin? The best Robin. I actually did an episode on that a while back, so if you want to look that up, you will find the answer. Now, if you want to know, if you're not asking who's the technically the best Robin, who's my favorite Robin, I got to go to Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson, and then Jason Todd. They're like right there. Although Nightwing and Red Hood kind of shift with me. Like if you were to not talk about Robin and just like, you know, who they became to be when they're older, I love me some Red Hood. He's just such a badass. He's just so cool. But Nightwing is Nightwing. I mean, he's the first Robin. You know, he's Nightwing. He took over for Batman. So it's like, depending on what day you ask me, it'll be like Red Hood on Tuesday, and then like Friday it could be Nightwing. It goes like this. So I don't know, a tie. Douglas says, do you like Hellboy? Of course I like Hellboy. Who doesn't like Hellboy? I mean, I'm sure there's lots of people, but I love Hellboy. I know a lot of people have been asking for a history of Hellboy. That is going to happen when the new movie comes out. So the month that the new movie is released, you guys will get a history of Hellboy episode, just because it makes the most sense. It's when most people will be interested in the characters. So that's when I will do a history of Hellboy episode. I'm going to do 2 more questions, and then I'm going to get out of here. Kayleen says, who is your favorite Spider-Man? Again, I'm kind of like an OG purist with that kind of stuff. Peter Parker. Of course, Peter Piper. I'm saying lots of funny stuff today. Peter Parker is my favorite Spider-Man. If you had second, I guess, would be Miles Morales. He's like half Puerto Rican. I'm almost 100% Puerto Rican. That's cool. But besides that, he's a cool character. Although Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, rivals Miles Morales. It might be a tie. I don't know. I have to think about that, because I grew up with Spider-Man 2099 way before Miles Morales was ever invented. So, Peter Parker for sure. And then I'm gonna stick with Miles Morales for now. But Spider-Man 2099, that's a good one. That's a good one. Last question, and then I'm gonna wrap things up, guys. Until next week. DGSS Randomness says, what is your favorite Marvel movie? My favorite Marvel movie thus far is Civil War. I absolutely love that movie. I'm actually thinking about doing a top 10 MCU movies here on the show. Maybe do something like that closer to the Infinity War. That could be cool. Let us know in the comment section if you guys would like something like that. But Civil War, for sure. I think it's just the perfect blend of everything. It's funny, it's serious, tons of action, multiple superheroes. It just blends together so well. Spider-Man Homecoming is probably up there. It's in my top 5. I really love that. I mean, I love Spider-Man. He's probably like my second, third favorite superhero. So, and that was done great. I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man, which is actually a big reason why I like Civil War. I thought he was great in Civil War too. What else? Winter Soldier was also really, really good. And then the first Avengers. I mean, it's the first Avengers. Like, pretty much, it was the first superhero team movie as far as, like, the big 2 that we got out of DC and Marvel. Obviously, Marvel beat them to the punch way before DC. But yeah, to answer your question, Civil War. With that said, though, I'm going to wrap things up, guys, and I will see you next time when I talk about all things comics.